What's going on, guys? So you decided to join the Army and you're more than likely wanting to be a 13 Fox, or what's the actual name of it called?
Fire support specialist, or artillery fire support specialist.
So you're more than likely wanting to be one of those, and I got my brother here who is one of those. He's active duty at Fort Bragg right now, and in this video he's going to talk to you about his experience at AIT at Fort Sill. So for you guys who are new to my channel, what I usually like to do is kind of talk to the camera and talk to you guys kind of like as if I'm explaining the whole basic training and AIT scenario to you, as kind of, so make it a little bit more personal. So in this video, my brother, he's gonna, hopefully you should be able to just explain to the camera as if you're talking to the couple guys on the other side of this screen about what 13 Fox training is like at Fort Sill. So you can go from the beginning to the end, whatnot, just talk about your experience.
Well, I won't go into like too depth on it. I'm not going to talk like day to day, but so basically, I mean, we got there, we got set up in our rooms, and so when we got there, there was a lot of guys, and they split us up, and like who's going to be a holdover and who's not going to be a holdover. And originally I was going to be one, but I had Airborne in my contract, and so they let me go on to the next class, so I would have been there for 2 weeks extra. But so I got lucky and I got to go in the class, and the class is made up of about like 60 people. It was like basic around there.
60 people in your class?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it was a while ago. Roughly 60 people. And so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Sill Hall. I think that's what it is.
What is it called?
Sill or ICO, something like that.
ICO?
Yeah, it's like ISO Hall.
Oh, ISO.
ISO. I don't know how. Okay. I don't know what it is. I mean, you'll know when you get there. But so all you do for the first week is land nav. So you're just like going over pretty much like the same things you did in basic. Like how to plot a grid. I mean, direction and whatnot. And whenever you get there, since you're going to be dealing with artillery, we don't do degrees, so you're going to be learning mils, which is like, I mean, it's no different. I mean, it's different, but it's
called something different, but it's really not that much different as far as difficulty.
So you do that, and you do 3 land nav things. So like the first one, we just used a compass and the map, and we stepped off, how far we needed to go over. And like you do like a practice go, so like you have 5 points and you have to at least get 3 to go into the next one, and be good. And then we go back to the classroom for a bit, and then you kind of like ask questions, like anything you were confused about that day or anything you forgot about and didn't know. And then you go out there again, and then that's where you're being graded. You have to get all 5. And so that was, I mean, it wasn't really that bad. Like, it's really hilly out there and really rocky. Like, they take you in the middle of like nowhere. And and then the last land nav you do it with a dagger, and that's a piece of cake. I mean, because
what's a dagger? So if you guys didn't know, whenever you do land nav and basic training and stuff, you'll have a protractor and your map and everything, and that is really the only way you can plot your courses, and you'll have a compass. And so you'll walk using the azimuth and the degrees that you plot. And a dagger is something where you input your coordinates, and it'll tell you basically where to go. So it's really not that difficult. All you gotta do is, once you learn how to input your coordinates, where you want to go and where you are, and get the satellites to track you. There's like, I don't know, 10 satellites. I can't remember how many you're supposed to have. It's like 5 or something like that. Yeah. But the satellites will be tracking you, and you're just holding a little, machine that's telling you where to go. So it makes land nav super easy.
It's pretty much a GPS.
Yeah, it's like a GPS.
I mean, you just put in your coordinates before you even go out there to do land nav. You put in your coordinates.
Actually, it is a GPS because global, whatever. Yeah. So that's funny.
Yeah. Well, it's a piece of cake. Like, I mean, the people who failed, they just were retarded. Like, we finished, we forgot to actually put down one of our points for we walked a good 1,500 meters from our first target, or our first position, and we didn't even write down the number on there. And we went all the way to our second one, wrote that one down, and then I realized I didn't put my second one down, and went back and got that one down, and still finished 3rd. So if you don't get it, or if you don't pass on that, I'm sorry, but you're retarded. But it's really easy.
Some people might fail.
Yeah, I know. But we had one guy who failed the first time, and you got to do it again, but still, yeah. And so that's not gonna be hard. And then after that, you're gonna start getting into you're actually calling for fire. So like you're gonna learn like how to make corrections and I mean it's all really simple stuff. It's like I guess the only thing that's hard is like plotting your grid in time to like you don't run out of time.
What do you mean in time? So whenever they're testing you, there's a time limit.
Yeah, when you first start out, I mean, there's of course not a time limit because you don't know what you're doing. But then whenever you're getting graded later on, you have like 40 seconds, 45 seconds to like initiate, and then you have 45 seconds to actually call for fire. And then after you've called for fire, you have 10 seconds to give a correction. So like,
what would that?
If my round landed, I don't know, over the target or whatever, I'd just be like, or like, if my round landed to the right of the target and over it, then I'd be like, left blah blah blah, drop this. And then I'd send that to FTC. Yeah, I'm just adjusting. And all you're gonna do is successive bracketing. So you're gonna start at 400. So if you land over it, you're gonna say drop 400
meters.
And then drop meters. But I mean they know that. And then you say after you've dropped, if you're still, I mean it doesn't really matter. You do it all the way to 50, but you go to 200, then you'll add 200, and you'll drop 100, and then when you get to 50. You always fire for effect. Yeah,
this is fun.
Sorry. And so every time you get to a 50, and you don't say things like 50, right? Those are called dumb numbers. So if you were to say like, drop 50, fire for effect, they would like make you like 50 push-ups, or like they'd make you do like, I don't know, 50 flutter kicks or something stupid like that. It's like you make sure you don't do that. Or if they're like, they just like want to have fun. So just record all the dumb numbers you do, and then they add them up at the end of the day.
So at my AIT, for those of you guys who don't know, I'm a 25 Bravo, or I technically was, and they didn't smoke us at AIT at all. I think just one time, jokingly, my platoon sergeant told me to drop and do push-ups because I was talking back to him. It's kind of a funny thing. Anyways, but at yours, did they smoke y'all?
Yes, like crazy. Like so the first weeks, like 3 or 4 weeks were there. It was like they loved smoking us. Like our sergeants were smiling when they were smoking us. It's like the drill sergeants back in basic, like they yelled at you while they were smoking you, and they looked like mad stuff. Like they genuinely enjoy smoking you. Like I don't know, it's weird. Like oh my gosh.
Okay.
But
so that's something for y'all to look forward to when you go to basic. You think you're done smoking, and you're a 13 Fox.
There's also we were told that after we got to basic, they were like, it'll be individual punishments. That's not true either. That never stops.
They still have.
You're still mass punched. So and that is going to continue. Even in the active army, we still get mass punched.
So what at Bragg? Side note. Have y'all gotten like mass punishment, like bunch of okay? Yeah. I mean, we've done that a few times at drill. In the reserves, we do push-ups and crap, but it's really not that difficult.
Oh yeah.
So for all of these guys who are watching this, because it's going to be hundreds of people, hopefully even thousands, right?
Yeah.
So hundreds of people of you guys are hoping to be 13 Foxes. What kind of advice do you have to give to them to prepare, either at basic training or before basic training, on how they can be proficient and excel kind of at the whole 13 Fox job in AIT? And
I mean, really, all you need to know is be good at knowing or being good at plotting grids. Be like quick at it, because the quicker you can plot that grid, the quicker you can call that fire mission, and the more fire missions you can call, and then be good at land nav for sure, because if you're not good at land nav, then you're not going to pass that section. But even though it's easy, I mean, people still don't pass it, and just pay attention though whenever you're going over the dagger, because I was still confused. Like I still don't understand. I mean, it's really not that hard to use, but I didn't pay a whole lot of attention while they were giving the class, and you want to, because I know they use it at my unit sometimes, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, they make you do a high physical demand the first week you're there, and it's really not that bad. It's a 12-mile ruck with like 45 pounds in your back, and then they do make you do a bunch of other stuff, but that's...
So the first week you do a 12-miler?
First week you do a 12-miler. Okay. And yeah, I wasn't used to it because we went to wear ILTV, and I didn't have to wear that Jackson.
That sucks.
And my feet were blistered, so it was pretty bad. But
okay.
Yeah, that's about it. Just make sure you do those things, and then you're gonna be good, and it's gonna be a breeze.
Okay, so whenever you got to Fort Sill from Fort Benning, talk a little bit about the whole experience of kind of what the people were like and how you kind of thought it was going to be one way and then it was just totally different.
Okay. So when we first got there, you're straight out of basic, right? So you're like extremely disciplined, like, you know, and like whenever you're in formation, you don't talk, you don't move because, you know, you just come out of basic. And then we got there, and the first day, like, we went to, I got there at like 2 o'clock in the morning at Fort Sill. So the first morning when we went to breakfast, they had a little formation and everything, and it was nothing what I expected. I expected everyone to be really disciplined because like they had been in the Army longer than me, and you know, and I got there and everybody was like screwing around in formation, you know, doing whatever they want. Like, there was people like wrestling behind the formations, like when the sergeants weren't out there, you know, getting into fights. And I'm just like, all my friends were like, because you know, we're like, what is going on here? Like, this is not at all what I expected it to be like. And so like we actually like hated it for the first like week and a half, 2 weeks, because like we couldn't stand like how there was no discipline in there. And then like the people there would say like, just give it a few more weeks and like it'll be just like us. And we were like, no, I don't think so. And then when we got to where we were about to graduate, we were exactly like them. Not
do you think it's that they're undisciplined or they're just a little bit more laid back? Because you guys, yeah. when you go to basic training, you're essentially going to be brainwashed, and you're going to, every time you think about doing something, going someplace, you're going to be like, is this allowed? Is this allowed? Can I do this?
You still do that when you get
and when you get to AIT, it's kind of like a whole lot more laid back and less strict. So do you think it's just less or more laid back than undisciplined?
Yeah, because I mean, you get a lot more freedom because we would, you know, you do your PT in the morning, then you go eat breakfast, and you go to class, and then you would get off for the day at like, I don't know, like 1900 or something like that, or like 1800 around there. Maybe actually sometimes around 17, and then you pretty much have until final formation, which was about 1930, to do whatever you wanted. Then after final formation, you could do whatever you wanted. I mean, you couldn't go out of the barracks, but you could stay in your room, listen to music, you know, play on your laptop or whatever, watch TV if you had a TV in there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was really laid back, and like for us, just coming straight out of basic, that was awesome because like, you know, we only got like an hour of free time at basic, and even then like we weren't really even getting to do what we wanted to. Like we had to like study, or you know, we were writing letters, so like a lot of my time was either writing letters, reading, or I was having to study. But so that's really nice. And then you get the weekends off, Saturday and Sunday. You don't do PT on the weekends, which is cool. And then because you do weekends, of course, at basic, or you do PT, of course, at basic. And that was really nice. You can go to the PX. They've got a bowling alley, and they've got a commissary or food court. And that's about it. Like there's no other place, and there's really nothing in Fort
So it's basically just like a PX and a bowling alley.
PX and a bowling alley, and then they got a library. And if you want to, there's like a little section where you can watch movies. Yeah, you can go like watch movies in one of the parts of the library, which is really cool. Like because you're not allowed to, you can stay in the barracks depending upon who your CQ sergeant is. Some of them are really strict, and they'll tell you like, I don't want anybody to stay in the barracks until this time, and at this time everybody needs to be back. And then you've got some sergeants like, whatever, go out there, do whatever you want, come back whenever you want.
Did you have to sign out? Because I know
you had to sign out.
Yeah, we had to sign out and get a little ticket.
We didn't get a ticket. We just you just write your name out on this piece of paper on your from underneath your platoon's name, and so when you come back, then you just sign your name back in. And and they have a gym, of course, so you can go to the gym on the weekends. What we did, it's like we go to the gym. Yeah, make sure you go to the gym because you're gonna get. I mean, I don't know. I've always loved the gym, but you just get really weak. I don't know. Just get weak, I guess. But my friends, we used to just go to the gym, and then we go to the corner store and get like pizza and protein bars and protein shakes, whatever. And then we go back and we kind of chill out. And I remember though, like I said about the discipline thing, like the first couple weeks, I don't know, it was for me at least, you don't really bring food into the barracks, and then you get to a point where you're just like, screw it, and then you just like start shoving stuff in your underwear and your pants and you're walking in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot more laid back, of course, than basic.
So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys feel a little bit more confident in going into the 13 Fox because it's all just unknown. And hopefully James did a pretty good job explaining to you guys. I think he did. But if you have any questions, comment down below. You could probably check the video later. It'll be on my channel. But and then he could like reply or something. But I'm going to be gone for the next month. So if you guys reply after a couple days from now, I'm just not going to be there, and I'll try to reply to you guys as soon as I can after that. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys later.
Drop.